Blessed be the name of the Lord Most High, the one who was, the one who is, and the one who is to come, the Almighty. Uh, I know this live stream is unusual. It's because normally we have our weekly live streams on Saturdays, but due to the recent happenings in Nigeria, I have to come up to have a talk or to speak on the killings of the Christians in Nigeria. As you all know, I am Christian Apologetics Networks, and most of you know that I'm from Africa and Nigeria, to be precise. And whatever I'm saying here, I'm not saying it as in theory, but I'm saying it in practical, in what we've seen happening in the country. Okay. Firstly, let me start with by telling you folks that whatever thing you see happen, whatever news or how bad you think the situation is in Nigeria presently, how bad you think it is, you might think it is based on what the news medias are showing. Let me tell you now that it is just the tip of the iceberg. It is worst. I mean, very worst. And you must understand that the killings of the Christians in Nigeria did not just start today, or that it becomes very escalated and alarming right now that the whole world are now talking about it. Does not mean that it started now. No. Ever since Islam has stepped foot in Nigeria, I can tell you categorically that the killing had been going on since then. And there is no single day in Nigeria where Christians are not being slaughtered and killed by the Islamist jihadists. That is the truth. And the killing are often and mostly in an inhumane way. Okay, they are often and in a inhumane way. Uh, and you would expect that the government should intervene in this kind of situation because this is something that has been for a long time. I mean, it's a long time. It is not just today. It's been around for a long time. So, and you must understand that when it comes to Islamic territories, Nigeria ranked fifth among the highest rates of Muslims in the world. Okay, so they have a bunch of um, Muslims in we have a bunch of Muslims in Nigeria. We have about 120 something million people and 20 something millions Muslims in Nigeria. At least those who um, recognize themselves as being Muslims. Okay, so and this has been going on for a while. Has been going on for a while. Now, some of my fellow some Nigerians will say, "Oh, what is happening now is as a result of the Muslim ticket." That is what we mean Muslim ticket in Nigeria. It means that the president of Nigeria presently is a Muslim and the vice president also is a Muslim. No, it is not that. It is not as a result of the Muslim ticket that this atrocities is going on. In the time of the previous governments, the time of the late President Buhari, Buhari himself was a Muslim, while his vice president was Professor Yemi Oshibajo. He was a he was a Christian and a pastor to be precise. One of the biggest, one of the pastors. I mean, is a pastor in one of the biggest churches in Nigeria, the deemed Christian Church of God. And yet, it was in that time that we had um, Fulani herdsmen terrorizing the whole of Nigeria at that time. So happening now, it is not a matter of Muslim tickets, but this is what has been happening for a while. And the government are not doing anything about it. And you would want to wonder, ask, why is the government not doing anything about it? You see, when President Trump, um, when he got involved in the issue, and then he asked the Nigerian government to take care of it, of the terrorists going on in Africa, in Nigeria precisely, or else it's going to come down and do it. You know, I'm telling you, this is a first-hand information now. I'm right here. This is a first-hand information. The whole of the Muslim Ummah are terrified. I mean, they are very, very scared because Trump is now stepping into the case. And guess what? What is happening? The Muslim community, they are beginning to stage protests. There are protests going on now in Nigeria, saying that they do not want Donald Trump to step into the case. Now, you would want to wonder, what kind of community would not want assistance for the genocidal killings of their fellow human and their fellow citizens? And you see them, and then I mean, you could some of their scholars, clerics, they go online. You will see some of them ranting and shouting and talking bad. You shouldn't come. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. So this is just to show you that when we say that if Muslims are in their minority, they will shout peace, peace, peace. But when they are in their majority, your neighbor that you think is a peaceful Muslim will be the one to draw the dagger and kill you. That is a fact. This happened so many years back in Kaduna State in Nigeria. This fellow Christian brother, he was a Christian, a true Christian. He goes to fellowship. I'm talking about Abu Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria in Kaduna State. He goes to fellowship, he does all that. But when the Islamic jihadist crisis came up in Kaduna State in Zaria, this Christian brother had a Muslim roommate who was a Muslim. The roommate was cool, was gentle, was peaceful. But guess what? When the Muslim rose up to start killing the Christians, it was the roommate that killed this Christian brother in the room. He killed him. So when we are talking about Christian killings, it is not just happening now. It has been happening since. And guess what? Government have not done a single thing about it. Let me tell you another example. Sister Deborah. This sister, this is a very popular one. Sister Deborah was studying in the Kaduna University in Kano State. I mean, Kaduna University in Kano State. And then in the group chat, or WhatsApp group chat, so I think they were discussing about assignments and what have you. And then a Muslim brother or a Muslim fellow in the group chat that was created for academical purpose, for assignment, or to discuss anything that has to do with academic in the school. Guess what they did? He sent an Islamic religious post on the group, and all the sister did was that she corrected this Muslim fellow and told the fellow that, look, this is not a religious group, please, that you shouldn't send something like this here, because this is an academical purpose group. Because of that, get what the Muslim community said. They said Sister Deborah insulted the Prophet Muhammad. So as a result, guess what they did? They broad daylight in the afternoon, they were filming it live. The jihadists, they barged into the female hostel, they barged into her hostel, drew her out, beat her, stripped her naked. They were filming this. It is the jihadists that were filming this themselves. They stripped her naked, they beat her, and they burnt her alive. and they were filming it themselves. They were not wearing any face mask. They were there and they were shouting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, and they burned the sister alive. And guess what? It went viral. Christian Prince talked about it. Sam Shamoun, David Wood, lots of top apologists all over the world spoke about it. And guess what? The Nigerian government are still investigating the case to date. What is there to investigate with people that went there in broad daylight, took this sister, killed her, burnt her, and they showed their face? It's there online. What I'm saying, this is a fact. It's it's online, and yet there is no single arrest that was made to this effect. Let me give you another example. My father, he had a friend. He used to be a lecturer in the in Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria. He was in his house in Zaria in Kaduna State, and then a friend came to visit him, and then he after the visitation they had a chat, they talked, then they left. Then he decided to escort the friend just to a stone through to the bus stop. So he was only putting on a singlet and a shorts just to because it was, if you know the northern part of Nigeria very well, it's always very, very sunny. So he went there. So he was escorting his friend. So he escorted the friend to the bus stop. On his way coming back, he saw his house was burnt. And when he saw his house was burnt, he saw the jihadists. They were all outside waiting for him. They burnt his house and they were all outside waiting for him. And as he saw them, he began to run and they began to chase him. And on chasing him, he, he had an obstacle that he faced a high fence. So it's when you are on a flight mode and your whole system is it it begins to produce emergency hormone, testosterone, and then the man jumped the fence because the fence was so big that on a normal day he wouldn't be able to jump it, but he was able to fly over the fence and then he escaped his life. The jihadists then backed off because they could not jump the fence, so they left. The man got to Lagos with that singlet and shorts. He did not return back to become he didn't return back to take up the offer of being a lecturer in Anambra University. He had, he had to leave because of the jihadists. And the government are not doing anything about it. In the north, once these jihadists rises up and then they begin to fight and they begin to kill the Christians, you see, the Muslims who are the neighbors of these Christians are the ones that are going to begin to tell the jihadists that see, that woman living there is a Christian. That one over there is a Christian. That one over there is a Christian. Kill them. The Muslims who are their neighbors are the ones that will be pointing out the Christians to the jihadists for them to kill. Evangelist Musa is a convert to Christianity. He is a Fulani and he is also a convert to Christianity. He was once a Muslim. He is now an evangelist to the Fulanis. Yes, by God's grace, God is using him mightily to convert a lot of Muslims who are Fulanis to Christianity, and God is using him very well. He's a popular apologist. You can go online, search for him, you will see him. Because of what he preaches, and because of his conversion of Christians, Muslims to Christianity, his bodyguard was killed. He was the one that they wanted to kill. His bodyguard was killed. I don't want to narrate the whole story. He was the one that they wanted to kill, but they didn't end up killing him. When the police arrived, the jihadists had killed the bodyguard. When the police arrived, instead of the security agent to arrest the jihadists were there. They didn't run away. They were there. They arrested Evangelist Musa and took him to the prison. And locked him up. They wanted to lock him in the prison. They wanted to silence him silently. That is, kill him silently. If not for the help of some men that God used for evangelism and social media that we begin to post. Go and share Christian Apologetics Network page on Facebook. I was part of those that posted for the release of the evangelists. A lot of Christians, a lot of apologists also who are from Nigeria did this also. When the police themselves, they confessed that it is the Islam that those that are behind this case, they are the Islamic people and they want to kill you. That is what the information we got. You can see that I'm giving instances. In Nigeria, if you should kill a Christian, if a Muslim should kill a Christian, there's an amount that is being paid to whoever kill a Christian. But if you should kill a pastor, the amount will be doubled. During the case of the Chibok girls, when the Boko Haram, when they kidnapped the 120 Chibok girls, guess what? Everybody was alive then by the grace of God. You all heard about it. What happened? The United States of America, back then, the president of the United States of America was Barack Obama. He sent some US security force down to Nigeria to help in rescuing the Chibok girls and arresting the Boko Harams. Do you know what happened? This was an indoor meeting with some generals, chief of staffs in the Nigerian military. They were having a kind of a strategic meeting on how to rescue the Chibok girls. And the president and the Air Force and the president of America and together with the Nigerian government, then they mapped out a strategy, because by the help with the use of the satellite, they were able to track where the Boko Haram were, where they were in Sambisa forest. They knew where they were, they knew the location. They were monitoring all their movements. It was a full data, they've done the data. And then it was now time. Then they said this is what we will do. They said they are going to spray a kind of a sleeping something. I don't know, you guys will know that. They will spray it in the air. So once both the Chibok girls and the Boko Haram people, once they inhale it, they will all slip off. So once they slip off, then they said the force will then go in, will go into the Sambisa forest, then rescue the Chibok girls silently with zero casualty, and then arrest all of these Boko Haram members. In less than 5 minutes after this strategy has been cooked and done, with the aid of satellite, they began to see that the Boko Haram began to move. They began to move. That was when they spread they divided the Chibok girls amongst themselves, and they formed the some groups. Now the question is, how did the news of the strategy of the plan got to the Boko Haram that they began to move? In less than 5 minutes, the news got to them. Again, I will give you another story. I'm not saying this story just to baffle you. I'm going somewhere so that you can understand. Like they will say that how would I put it now? There's an adage. I don't know the English version, but let me just continue. In Nigeria, there was a time whereby the Muslims were killing the Christians, and there was nobody to defend the Christians. The killing as usual. Like I told you, this is not just this. It has been happening for a long. Every day it happens. Just that the news does not carry it. It happens. So they were killing the Christians. They were killing the Christians. So a general in the US, I mean, in the Nigerian army, then on his own took up arms and began to defend the Christians. Guess what the government did? The government arrested this general, and they wanted to court-martial him because he was defending the Christians. Because he had to defend his own fellow brothers from the Muslims, and they arrested him and said, what did that he killed? Is It was a pastor, Archbishop Benson Dausa, that stood up and said, if you kill this man, that is, if you kill this general, I'm going to cause a war in Nigeria. And they know that Archbishop Benson Dausa does not give a threat. They knew that he meant every word. It was not until when Archbishop Dausa said that they released the man. Now, to the questions. Why is the insecurity still lingering? Here's the truth. Like I told you, this is an uncensored truth. I might get in trouble for with this. Pray for me. Pray for my family. Because I've watched a lot of videos and I'm saying that nobody is saying anything that they are not eating the nail on the hammer. No. None of them are saying this nail on the hammer. They are just romancing the words. This is the truth. There is no single terrorism in Nigeria that does not have the hand of the government of Nigeria in it. No single terrorism in Nigeria that does not have the hand of the government of Nigeria in it. Now, there's once an head of state in Nigeria. He said that if you see probably anything that happened in Nigeria, like probably a killing, kidnapping, whatever or that, he said if you should see it, this is once an head of state. He said if you should see it in Nigeria, he said know that and it lasts for 24 hours. It lasts more than 24 hours. He said, know that the hand of the Nigerian government is in it. The hand of the Nigerian government is in it. Now, the terrorists, the Boko Haram terrorists and all, they are not a well-trained mercenary. No. They are not well-trained. They are just a quack. It's so easy to it's so easy. I've interviewed some soldiers who are soldiers in the Nigerian military. They say this often to this jihadist, this Boko Haram, so it's because they are untrained. Now the reason why there is this insecurity of Christians still persist in a date, it is not about the Muslims. No, it's a long time. Because there is within the government that are benefiting from it. From it. Did you know that in Nigeria there are some governors themselves that they are jihadists? Those who are sponsoring these killings, those who are sponsoring these kidnappings, they are from the government cabinets themselves. That is the reason there is nothing, I mean, absolutely nothing that the government of Nigeria can do about it. If the government of the United States of America is going to want to save Nigeria, if it should kill the terrorists, but the sponsors are still there, and the sponsors are still within the government, what would you say about a country that is sitting under Sharia law, and yet having a chief justice that studies Sharia law? Does that make sense? This happened under President Buhari, the late president of the president that just died. He was the one that became president after. Became president. He recently evacuated the position for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So what do you want to say about that? under him, why should you have your constitution is not a Sharia law constitution. Your law is not a Sharia law, but yet you have a Chief Justice that studies Sharia law. So these people that are killing, they have their sponsors, and their sponsors are within the government. They are ex-governors. They are governors, present governors. Some of them might be ministers. And that's the reason it is difficult to say you want to quench this. And why is this? Why are they doing this? Number one, go and check all the sponsors of these jihadists, those that are donating heavily to them. It's as a result of obeying the commandment of Allah to Islamize the country. It is in the Sunnah and it's in the Hadith that if you cannot fight jihad, at least sponsor jihad, use your money. But one way or the other, you must be involved in jihad. If you're not there physically to fight, use your money. And these people are not physically fighting, but they are financially fighting. And they are aiding and supporting these people. And I can tell you categorically, it is not difficult. I repeat, it is not difficult for the government of Nigeria to eliminate terrorism in Nigeria. It is not something that's hard. No. It is not hard at all. It's not so difficult. It's not hard. We do not need the help of the United States government to help us. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. But the reason the Nigerian government will never do that, will never eliminate it, is because the government themselves, but I mean the government, I do not mean that the head, but I mean that those within the government themselves, they are the one heading it. They are the ones sponsoring it. So it's a mission impossible. So the only way is to harass the sponsor. If you want all this to stop, arrest the sponsors. And I can tell you, the government themselves, they know the sponsors. That's the fact. The government themselves knows those who are sponsoring this. They know them very well. They know those who are sponsoring. If today, if the president of Nigeria decided that okay, that he does not care what's going to happen, that he wants to put an end to insurgents, to insecurity, to terrorism in Nigeria, he knows those who are sponsoring all this. It is not hidden to him. The government knows. They know what to do. I'm very sure that the United States of America themselves also knows who are sponsoring those who are sponsoring this terrorism in Nigeria. They know. And so the reason why the whole Muslim community are in shake, in fear, and are in tremble is because they know that if the United States of America should step into the case, they are not just going to kill the jihadists alone or terrorism that is the gun. They are also going to eliminate everyone who is also sponsoring this threat in Nigeria. So it is not so difficult. It is not so hard. But the question is, will the government of Nigeria be willing to do it? Let me tell you why the government of Nigeria will not be willing to do it. Because the government would want a re-election to the office. They would want a re-election to the office. As a result, they know that if they should trample upon those people who are the jihadists, who are going to support them and give them the votes, they know that they might end up not getting into the office the second time. So that is why you see that they keep on pushing it. Nobody wants to do anything. No government wants to do anything because all the governments are all in their selfish interest. They are all after their own selfish interest. Nothing more, nothing less. So, folks, that is the gospel truth about the massacre and slaughtering of the Christians in Nigeria. The Muslims or the jihadists that are doing this, they are all cowards. I mean, take a look. Take a look. Let me give an example. During the time of President Muhammadu Buhari, IPOB, that is some group of Igbos, they decided that they don't want to be part of Nigeria any longer. They want to. They said they want to have their own faction of of country. They want to have they call it I forgot what they call it, but they want to become a country on their own. So as a result, because the government of Nigeria does not want to allow this, so there was a lot of things that was going on. And because they had a clash with these IPOB groups at Abuja, the 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 general was one of the general armies was sent to address this IPOB group that they should calm down. And guess what happened? Because those people, this IPOB group, were not willing to listen to anything, and they did not even respect this general. So when the soldiers that followed this general saw that these people might arm the general, so they drew their guy, that is their boss, the general. They asked him to go. So they had to face these IPOB groups. It was a clash at that time. Guess what? Immediately, President Muhammadu Buhari declared IPOB group a terrorist group in Nigeria. And this IPOB had not killed anybody as at that time. They had not killed anybody as at that time, but President Muhammadu Buhari declared them a terrorist group in Nigeria. But guess what? Fulani herdsmen who are killing and are being killed, and I mean are killing Nigerians, grabbing lands. The president, as at then, did not declare them a terrorist group. Why? Because these Fulanis are his own people. He himself is a Fulani. So don't be surprised that Nigerian government will always deny all of this. They will tell you, the Nigerian government they will tell you there's no terrorists in Nigeria, there's nothing, it's a lie, don't mind them. When during the EndSARS protests that happened all over Nigeria, the Nigerian government were the one that sent soldiers to kill the youths that were protesting. You would wonder what kind of government would send youths. I mean, would send soldiers to kill their own youth who are in a peaceful protest, but yet they are not sending soldiers to go after the kidnappers, to go after the terrorists, but yet they are sending kidnappers to kill the youths. Do the EndSARS protest. They killed a lot of youths in Legato Gate in Lagos State. Guess what? When the whole world began to ask Nigerian government the questions, did you kill them? Guess what the reply of the Nigerian government? The Nigerian government denied it and said they never killed anyone. But yet the evidences are there that they killed. So that is the government that we have in Nigeria. They will deny it. If the government are so good and they record that, that 50 people or 100 people were killed by terrorist group or by some, if they say that, just know that the numbers is way ahead. It's more than that. The numbers are so high, and they will often deceive the world by saying it is just a communal clash. It is a lie. It is not a communal clash. Nigeria respects community a lot. The problem with Nigeria presently is not about the problem of communal clash. It's about Islamic terrorist group who are being sponsored by some government officials themselves. So anytime anything has to do with the citizen of Nigeria, and what in as much as those things does not affect the government in any way, the government will not take any step, any action, in as much as it is not their family, it is not any minister, it is not any commissioner, it is not any governor that is affected. But the moment one of the government official is affected with it, you will see that the Nigerian government will take actions and they will take steps. Why? Because now it affects them. That is the truth. So finally, to round it up, I'm saying this to Christians and churches in Nigeria. This is time to be united. It is not time to say, I'm a redeemed member, I'm a deeper life member, I'm a CSA member, I'm a Mountain of Fire member. No, this is time to stand as one and be united. Let us come together and look for a way to help ourselves. If we depend on the government to help us, we are going to stay in a long thing because we know that this is not new. It has been happening a long time, and the government are not doing anything about it. And it's not even now. Don't expect that the government will still do anything about it. The only person that can do anything about it is probably President Donald Trump. If he later intervenes and send down the US force, which is the only solution. But anything aside this, don't expect the government of Nigeria to do anything about it, except if the world threatens the Nigerian government. I'm telling you, because the Nigerian government, and they only obey force. The Nigerian government only obeys a power that is higher than them. Anything aside that, don't expect them. They won't do anything about it. The people that are being killed, seeing as much as it is not any of the family member, in as much as it does not affect them in any way, in as much as it does not stop the money they are embezzling, they will not do anything about it. So this is the time for the church to be united. If you think that they are going to do anything about it, then you are wrong. So let us be united. Let us look for a way to find solution to this ourselves. Let us look for a way to find solution to this ourselves. If not, this killing will continue. The case of Nigeria is not like the case of China, whereby the Chinese government are after the underground church in China. That kind of persecution of Christians over there, we know that it is the government that are after, but yeah, even though the government are saying no, but we know we can see the footprints and the hands of the government in all of this. And the reason why it has not yet been solved is because the hand of the government are in it. So we just need to help ourselves as we've been doing. May the Lord help us. So, folks, pray for the church of God in Nigeria earnestly. Pray that the Lord will uphold us. The Lord will make us stand strong. That in spite of the persecution going on, that the love of Christ will not be taken away from us. That we will stand firm and pray that the Lord should give us a way out of this predicament. Whether the government stepped in or not, pray that the Lord will solve this problem for us. Keep praying for us. We need your prayers, even at this time. God bless you. This is Christian Apologetics Network. Over and out.